Okay, so this is Talkaoke. Come and take a seat. Come and take a seat on the table of chat. It's very simple. It's just about talking into this microphone, whatever you want to say. Hopefully it relates to what other people will say. My name's Mikey. Let's find out. Come and sit down. Get involved in this. Let's find out who we've got around the table of chat. What's your name?
Kel.
And what's your name?
Matt. Robbie. Seb. Sammy. Lewis.
Okay.
Cameron.
And as I said, I'm Mikey. Come and sit down. Everyone's welcome to come and sit down there. And there's really, truly no age limit or limits to the conversation. Come and have a seat. Let's give him a round of applause. Maybe that was going to go encouraging. Still didn't work. Okay, right. What do we want to talk about? Have we got another face here? Did we get your name already? You're facing the other way. Face this way. Give us... I kind of feel like I'm a little bit ignored this way round. Well, we'll just... I think I'll just have to... Okay, right. So, what do people want to talk about? Any thoughts, comments, ideas, suggestions, anything? Anything?
I love Legos.
You love Legos?
Yes.
Okay, so we can talk about Lego. Has everyone here got an interest in Lego?
Yeah. Yes, I was
Yeah. You do? What is your interest? Can you tell us about your interest in Lego?
I like Lego. I just enjoy building whatever I want, and I normally make Star Wars stuff.
Okay. Is there anything in particular that you've made recently that you've been particularly pleased with?
I've made a landscape which is just snowy and has trees as well, and I put all my figures on it.
How can you have a snowy landscape with Lego? Can you have Lego snow?
Yeah, you just use white plates.
Okay, just use white. Okay. Everyone else like Lego? We know you like Lego, Lois. You like Lego as well? Lois, what's your interest in Lego? Have you made anything particular?
I made a rocket.
I'll come to you in a second.
I make a rocket.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man, of course, I need to mix. And of course, I have Spider-Man and Batman.
Okay.
In my home.
Okay, Spider-Man and Batman, some related. So just those people that have walked in, this is Talkaoke. You're welcome to come and sit around the table. And at the moment we're talking about Lego. There seems to be a strong interest in Lego. And the things that people make. We've got some spare seats. Are you any interest in Lego?
Nope.
No? Nothing at all? What do you like doing if you don't like doing Lego?
Playing on my Xbox.
On the Xbox, okay. Xbox, yeah. Any particular games?
Nope.
Anything?
Nope.
Okay, well, you mean you like playing on the Xbox but not playing games? Anything, okay. So you're open to anything. What about on this side? Xbox versus Lego?
No.
Lego? Why?
Because my dad just has a big, massive shed full of it.
Your dad's got a shed full of Lego. Where did he get it from?
Just buying it off eBay.
He's bought it all on eBay. Okay. Okay, I mean, when we say a shed full, is it a Lego shed or a real shed?
Real shed.
A real shed full of Lego. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. We're talking about what's your name again?
Robbie.
Robbie?
Yeah.
Robbie's dad's got a shed full. Is that your dad over there? You've got a shed full. Come and talk about your shed full of Lego that you got on eBay. How long did it take you to amass a shed full of Lego? And has anyone else got a dad that's got a shed full of Lego?
No.
No?
But just when I'm bad, my dad just hides it away.
He hides the Lego?
Yeah, of course, I love Lego. I just hide nothing else. I don't care, I just like play the Lego.
Are you a little bit addicted to Lego? Is that what's
Yes.
going? Okay, well it explains.
I'm not addicted to Lego.
Can Lego be addictive? Yeah? Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Can you have too much Lego?
No.
No, okay. Okay, so this is interesting. Maybe we're uncovering a dark side to Lego, that you can be addicted to Lego. What do people think?
Give me a Batman Lego and at the same time a Joker Lego.
What's that?
It's a Batman and Joker
So
and
you
it's
make
Lego.
Batman and Joker out of Lego? Okay, anything
No,
else?
for Christmas, give it to me.
That's what you want for Christmas?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Are other people hoping for Lego Christmas presents? Or something else? Come and have a seat on the table to chat with. Have you got any views about Lego? That's what the subject seems to be. Have you got any views about Lego?
I think it's a great bit of kit.
Come and sit down. Come and sit down. What's happened to my... Where's it?
See what I'm seeing here and then catch up.
Well, we're here all afternoon. Where's my orange bit? Thank you. Okay, so where are we going to go with this conversation? Do we want to talk about the addictive qualities of Lego? Is it too addictive? You say no? I mean, are you not worried you're getting too much Lego?
No.
No? Okay, I mean, what about you with the Xbox? Is the Xbox addictive?
Yeah.
Is it a problem?
No.
Okay. Would you like to add anything more?
No.
Okay. So, I mean... Hello? Sit on the seats. You're making me nervous down there. Right. Where are we going to go with this conversation? I feel like, yeah.
We're going to awkwardly change it, the subject to pigs.
Why?
Because that's the point in life.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, you've kind of grasped the point of Talkaoke in a sense that it's about changing the subject, but maybe we could link it. Have you ever made a pig out of Lego?
Yes.
Okay, what colour was it?
Pink.
Have you got a lot of pink Lego as well?
No.
So how did you make the pig pink?
Because I made like a tiny one.
Okay, so you've got a tiny bit of pink Lego. Does it matter what colour the pink? Does it matter what colour the pig is?
No.
Okay, I mean, could you make a multicoloured pig?
Yeah.
I mean, what do people think about this? Is the colour of the Lego that important?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Go back. Because you're invading my space down there. This is my space. This is your space. I've got my little... What happens... Yeah, this is the table space.
And what's this?
That is silicone rubber.
And why you take it off?
Good question. So what do people think about
just
colour?
put it
Does it
back
matter?
down,
Do you need to have the right colour Lego?
Yes.
Does it matter what colour? No? Okay, what about if you're making a pig and you've only got like red and green bricks?
Just make it to red or green.
Okay, I mean, yeah.
You could, if you only had red and green bricks, you could make a Christmas pig.
A Christmas pig, okay. That's quite imaginative. We've got a red and green colour scheme going on here as well. Is it a kind of Christmassy gallery in here? I mean, what's that? You don't feel it's very Christmassy? No? I mean, what do you think about the question of Christmas? You don't like it? Why not?
Because it's just silly. I get nightmares.
You get nightmares? What, about Christmas? Is it the nightmare before Christmas?
The nightmare every single day.
Okay, you have a nightmare. What?
I love Halloween.
Give us a final thought before you go.
Halloween now.
Hang on, so let me get a final thought from Robbie. Let's give us a final thought. Are you going off to do the Lego? Are you expecting more Lego for Christmas? Come a bit closer because we can't hear you from over there. Tell us, I mean, just to get things straight, I'm not nothing to do with Christmas. I'm not Santa Claus or anything like that. Totally different service, but we're just talking about Christmas here. What is your view on Christmas and Lego and pigs? Are you hoping for more Lego for Christmas?
Yeah.
Anything in particular?
No.
Anything. And yourself? Do you want more Lego for Christmas?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm hoping for more pigs for Christmas.
More pigs for Christmas. And what are you going to do with all these pigs?
I'm going to make a pig farm where the pigs make all the crops.
Okay. Okay, we've got a new face to the table. What's your name?
My name is Missy. I'm Kel's
Missy.
sister.
Okay.
I just came to tell you you're not supposed to take the whole mic.
Okay. I mean, can you tell us a little bit about? Because one of the things we're talking about is the Lego addiction. Is your brother addicted to Lego? Would you say?
Yes. Yes.
Is it a problem? Is it okay? Are you off? Give us a final thought before you go.
I'm not a big fan of Lego, but
Oh, really?
No, I don't.
I mean, what are you surprised there's so many people that are fans of Lego here?
Yeah, I guess.
What are you fans of?
Football.
Football. Okay. Any particular team?
Liverpool.
Okay, Liverpool fan. Okay. Maybe we could talk about Liverpool later on, but I feel the people around the table are more Lego people than football. Are you a football person, Lego person?
I like football.
Yeah? Okay, so we could have maybe talked about football.
Let's talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point of Talkaoke, and I think, Kel, that you've grasped it because you are talking about whatever you want. That's the whole point. So, but we're talking about pigs. What's the fascination with pigs?
Because pigs are life. Pigs mean everything.
Okay. Do you know much about... I mean, I'm sort of using you as a kind of expert on your brother. Did you know about this pig fascination?
I don't think pigs are even his favourite animal, so it's fairly
Yeah.
new.
Okay.
Joint favourite.
Well,
Wow.
what have you got a favourite animal?
I like foxes and
Foxes,
dogs.
yeah.
I like kitens.
You like what?
Kitens.
Like what?
Kitens.
What is that?
A chitin is it looks a bit like
Yeah.
a rock, maybe kind of, and
Yeah.
and it can blend in with the it can't change colour, but it can just blend in with stuff like rocks.
Right. Okay. Okay. I've not heard of that one before. Favourite animal? What's your favourite animal?
Lion!
You're lying.
A lion!
What's your favourite animal? Have you got
Nothing!
nothing? Have you not got a favourite animal?
No. I have two animals, my favorite one.
Yeah.
Lions and wolves.
Lions and wolves. Have you
And
heard?
tigers.
Have you heard of a chitin?
What's that? What is that?
I don't think you were listening just a minute ago because you explained. Can you explain it again?
Chitins are they look like rocks, and they can blend in with rocks, and they're quite ugly.
Okay, an ugly animal that looks like a rock that can blend.
Oh, and they're quite small.
They're quite small. Have they got arms and legs?
Yeah.
Arms and legs?
Don't Google it.
Yeah, don't Google it.
Don't Google it.
No.
Is it like a disease that you mustn't Google?
Quite ugly. It's
Okay,
very,
so
very
it's
ugly.
disturbingly ugly.
Yeah.
Okay, I should just put a call out. This is Talkaoke. This is a freeform talk.
favorite bird?
This is a freeform talk show. Right now, we're talking about what's your favourite animal? Is it a real animal or an imaginary animal? Earlier on, actually, we were talking about the imagination. So everyone's welcome to come and sit down on the table, should you want, if you'd like to discuss this or any other subject.
I'm addicted to iPads.
What's that?
I'm only addicted to iPads.
Okay, well, there's a question about iPad addiction that we could discuss, and it is to
What
be.
is iPad addiction? You do.
We're talking about addiction. Can you explain addiction? What is addiction?
Addiction's basically, let's say I'm addicted to iron brew, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to stop drinking iron brew or something. So I just keep on doing it, and I couldn't stop I
Okay,
wouldn't
so
be able to
where
stop
you-
myself.
Where you want something and you need something and you feel like you have to have it. It could be iron brew, it could be an iPad, it could be Lego, it could be pigs,
Only nothing.
it could be nothing. Are you addicted to nothing?
I am
Nothingness.
I'm addicted to everything.
Okay, so we're talking about addiction, the nature of addiction. I guess this is a Lego cat. Thank you, Rick. Is this just Lego animals? Oh, Lego art. I see. So art and Lego. Well, that's a good point because we are in an art gallery. Is Lego art? Would you say? You say no?
It can be,
Yeah.
but not usually.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think?
Yeah.
You think it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be, or it always is, or sometimes.
It's up to the person who's creating it. Yeah.
Okay, so it's up to you. So if you say it's not art, it's Lego art. That's what we're talking about at the moment. You say it's not art, then it's not art. Your Lego is not art.
No.
You kind of almost. Can I have my orange bit back? Thank you. Because that's part of the thing. It's. What about if I took away all your Lego?
Then you need to be careful.
Can we?
You let me lose the pieces.
Can
Because in home I lost.
Can?
That is the
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, there's your Lego back. Thank you. Can I put these beans back on it, or is that okay? Thank you. All right. So what we're talking about here. We're talking about.
Piece. We're talking about addiction and Lego cats.
Oh, we're talking about addiction to Lego, addiction to art as well. Can you be addicted to art? Yeah.
Only some people are addicted to art. I don't really. I'm not that.
Have you met someone that's addicted to art?
Never.
Okay. I mean, actually, Rick down there is kind of addicted to art. He's making the visuals. He's kind of. He can't get enough of art, and he just keeps making more and more pictures. That's why he sits there to listen to what people are saying, to make more and more art.
I'm making a Roman, and so I'm doing a Roman project, and I'm making.
Yeah.
And I'm deciding to make a shield, a sword, and a helmet for me, without a card.
Okay, so you're making a Roman costume out of cards. Yeah. That sounds pretty good.
Not all of it.
Why are you making a Roman costume?
It's my project.
Have you seen the Roman paintings in this gallery?
Yes.
What do you think of them?
Good.
Okay, so there's another subject. We're talking about Romans. Where do you want to take this? Do you want to talk about addictions to art and Lego and iPads? Do we want to talk about Romans?
I think we should change the subject now.
Okay, what do you want to change it to?
I really don't know, actually.
Okay, well maybe these people might know. Let's just quickly get a round of names. So, what's your name?
Sammy.
And?
Finn.
What was it?
Finn.
And?
Brody.
And?
Missy.
Missy, yeah.
Kel.
Kel, and I'm Mikey. At the moment, we're actually looking for a new subject. There's been quite a lot thrown down. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. We're looking for a subject at the moment. We don't really have a subject.
To talk about?
Yeah, to talk about, yeah. Have you got anything? What's...
Brody has an idea.
Yeah?
Cats.
Well, we've kind of got this Lego cat here, so maybe we could combine it. We were actually talking about favourite animals. Come a bit closer.
And a Lego person, a trap, and a person, a girl, a trap in a lot of Lego.
So a girl trapped. Give me that back. Thank you. So a girl. Okay, well, that's interesting. Okay, so there's a few subjects. It's kind of up to you. We've got a new face. What's your name?
Oren.
What is it?
Oren. He's me and Missy's cousin.
Okay. So there's this idea. Oh, she's gone again now. But this idea of a person trapped inside of Lego, which could kind of tie in with this addiction idea. And can you be trapped in Lego? Yeah.
No, because you'd be able to. Because it would be easy to to separate the bricks.
Okay. I mean, what about in a way? Oh, this is kind of like lost in a sea of Lego.
When you're making Lego, I think you're still like making art because you're like replicating stuff and still making it.
Yeah.
And like even following the manual, because a lot of the time when I do art on just like paper, I'm like always copying it off of my iPad so that I can get everything right.
Okay.
All the details.
Okay, so there's a question there. It's about, do you go according to the instructions or do you go freeform? I think that person's gone freeform. What? Can we just go back to the cat one quickly, Rick? Is there a cat trapped inside this cat? Like a real cat?
No, but it could be, but it would be very uncomfortable. Because imagine just having to stay in the same position for all of this time.
Forever. Okay. What were you saying?
Yes.
Yes, there could be a cat. I mean, what is the nature of the cat in the cat?
Why would the cat be in a cat?
Why would the cat be?
It makes logic, at least.
Yeah.
It makes logic.
It's logical, you'd say, yeah.
How would the cat get into the cat?
But it may not.
Throw it in.
It may not be like. It may not be an actual cat. But what about a kind of element of catness in the cat?
Well, there must be an element of somethingness inside everything, mustn't there?
Do you think there's some catness in that cat?
Yes, I think there's some boyness in the boy and some girlness in the girl.
Okay, so is that cat trapped in the cat in that sense?
I don't think it's trapped. I think it's there.
Okay, it's there. It's not necessarily trapped. So there's a. Yeah.
It could be like a sculpture, and then they could build around it.
Okay. I mean, look. What about this sculpture over there? Is there kind of? You've got some sculpture of some people, but are they people in the sculpture? Some.
What if it's a spirit inside a thing?
A spirit. There could be a cat spirit in the cat.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it has magical powers of.
Okay. I mean, is there a cat spirit in the cat? Yes. Say yes.
It could just be a normal Lego cat.
It could just be an ordinary Lego cat. Okay.
Yes.
What do people think? I think we've suddenly hit on a point of interest. Got a new face at the table. What's your name?
Ella.
Maybe we should just do another quick round of names. So Ella, and
Jack.
and
Kay.
Finn.
yeah,
Brody.
yeah.
Lula.
Kel, give us a final thought before you go, because you've added a lot to this. Wait, what's your name, quickly? That's you.
Lula.
Lula and Missy and what?
Kel.
Kel, give us a final thought.
Bacon.
Okay. I mean, in a way, it's a baker. Are you off as well? Give us a final thought.
Art, I guess.
Art. Yeah. Okay. Is there art inside is there a spirit of art inside the art?
Yeah.
You say yes.
Painting is a
Yeah.
spirit.
Are there sort of people inside the paintings, like this painting of?
Yes, because there's
Yeah.
I've seen a person do a magic trick all about paintings and
Yeah.
to see if it's people inside paintings. So one person comes out of painting to get flowers to go in another painting
Right,
to
okay.
make it beautiful.
I mean, what do people think? Are there people? There's paintings of people, but is there something of the person in the painting? What do you think? Hang on, let me.
There could be. If someone was trying to paint someone,
Yeah.
it's really hard to explain.
Okay.
I'm gonna say probably there could be life inside the painting.
Yeah.
Pretty much like Harry Potter.
Okay, so there's an element of life somehow in the paintings. Come and join this if you want to. Are there people inside the paintings? An element of the people in the people? Was there a point over here?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what makes it a good painting.
You think that's what makes it a good painting? Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think? People inside the painting, element of people, something of peopleness inside the painting?
Like that one over there.
Yeah. What do you think about this? Or just pick a painting and you think there's a bit of peopleness. Don't point with the microphone then, because then I can't hear you. Because I can only hear through the microphone.
That guy
Yeah.
looks like he will. If there's like a spirit in there, he might like pop out.
Okay, so there's a spirit that could pop out of the picture. We're talking about paintings and art in general and this Lego cat. Is there a sense of the person or the cat inside the painting or the sculpture?
Yes.
You say yes?
Yes.
You say yes?
Yes.
Okay, and what is that? What does that mean? I mean, you've picked out this painting, which is actually a painting of a painter. Is there something of that life of that painter inside the painting? You're saying yes, it could pop out. Do people agree on this side?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you catch that life?
Because you
By being
a good painter, the good
Yeah.
painter brings out, and you think, oh, that's just so and so.
Okay.
I thought you would jump into a painting.
Can you jump into a painting?
Yes.
I mean, so it's not just the painter; it's also the person being painted.
Yes.
Yeah. Somehow.
Somehow it kind of looks like real life. Sometimes like your eyes just tries
Yeah.
to figure out if it's real or not. It just looks real.
Okay, so if you're looking from the corner of your eye, you're like,
Yeah.
is there a person standing over there? Or is it a painting?
Yeah.
And maybe it's the life of the person in the painting.
Statues. Sometimes you think there's someone there, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's like a statue.
What do you think of this statue behind us? Do you feel like there's somebody, the white one?
I felt like there was someone watching me.
Okay, it could be somebody watching you.
It's that picture that just looks right at you.
Yeah, which one?
The one with the kind of like the coat, like the
The
blue
man
kind
with the fancy coat?
of- Yeah.
Okay, come and get involved in this. This is Talkaoke. It's a pop-up talk show at the moment. We're talking about, in a way, capturing life with art. Can you capture the life of something like a cat or a person in a painting? And what are you actually catching? Is it the skill of the painter that catches it, or is it actually the person that's actually giving out their personality into the painting? Ella, Were you going to make a point?
No.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, what was your point?
Not yet.
Okay. So what do people think? Is there life in some of these paintings or statues?
They could just be a camera, like a spare camera, just watching everything.
Okay. I mean, what's the difference between getting a picture with a camera and painting a picture? Is there a difference, or is it pretty much the same thing?
It's pretty much.
What's that?
Because you paint, and it's the difference of making a picture.
Okay. I mean, what is the difference though?
Because if you take a picture, it's just like not painting. But if you paint, you can make more decorations instead of painting.
Okay, so you can maybe add more a little bit with a painting. Is there any other differences between painting and taking a photograph? Yeah? Who was that said that? You? You've moved? Yeah.
It's just I want to...
Yeah. What's the difference between a painting and a photograph?
It's just some paintings look different and some look the same in some galleries.
Okay, so you're more likely to get a painting in a gallery, I suppose, as one point. Is there a difference? Can you capture the life of somebody in a photograph? Yes. You say yes? Yes? Let's have a show of hands. Who says yes? Yes. Oh, so you can catch it now?
I guess so.
Yeah?
I guess so.
You think so? Okay. I mean, the thing about Talkaoke is sometimes we talk about things we don't really know, so we have to take a guess sometimes.
Sometimes I imagine, like, paintings, like they're a whole different world.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we're in the painting and they're not, they're like watching us.
So in a way, there's a bit more imagination with a painting.
Yeah.
Okay. Do people agree with that? Is there a bit more imagination with a painting? Yeah. Okay.
Depends.
You think it depends?
It depends.
Can you have imagination in a photograph?
Well, sometimes, like for example, that picture over there.
Yeah.
So like you know how it has like a mountain of a point of view.
Yeah.
It just looks like the view that you would be seeing.
So it looks like a photograph in a way.
Yeah, in a photograph in a way.
Yeah.
But it's just actually a painting.
So does that make it a bad or a good painting?
I'd say it would probably mean it's a good painting.
Okay, it's a good painting if it looks like a photograph. What do people think? People agree?
Yeah.
Come and have a seat on the table. We've got. What happened to our seat? We're missing seats. We can get some more probably. Oh, there we go. We've got it. It's under. Okay, we've still got seats. We've still got seats here.
I think the difference is between a picture and a painting.
Yeah.
Is that one's taken with a camera and the other one's taken with a paintbrush.
But does it make any? Does it have a difference in terms? We were talking about capturing a person and the spirit of a person. Does it have any bearing on that?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay.
Yeah.
What do other people think?
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, do people really know?
It's just like painting a picture like Robert Burns, but there's some photographs what you can copy about Robert Burns.
Okay. So, what's better though, a painting or a photograph?
A painting.
A painting.
Because you're using your imagination, but not necessarily. Sometimes you see a person that you just want to paint.
Yeah.
Or like you can imagine people in your head and you want to bring them to life. So
you can use your imagination more. What's your name, sorry?
Nina.
Nina's saying you can. The thing about a painting is you can use your imagination more. You agree?
Because you could.
Yeah. But you were saying, that a painting's really good if it looks like a photograph.
Well, it could. It could.
Okay, so it kind of depends. I mean, where are we going with this? What about this question about imagination? We were talking about it earlier on today, actually. I mean, what you can use you talked about a photo of Robert or a painting of Robert Burns. Could you have a photograph of Robert Burns?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
In your head.
In your head. Is it a photograph?
Your imagination is. Yeah, you could. Or you could look at paintings from the olden days when Robert Burns was alive.
Okay.
And you could paint them from there.
Okay, what about a photograph in your head? Is that a real photograph?
Yeah.
Do people? Yeah.
I'm not sure, but if you think like the photograph, like the painting you think is real, but some paintings cannot be real.
Like what? What paintings?
Like,
trying to get it out of me.
All right. Okay, you're thinking about it. Can someone else think of about a painting that can't possibly be real? Is anyone? Yeah.
Oil painting.
Oil. Why?
Because it looks like autographs.
Okay, so it looks a bit too arty, maybe. Can anyone else think of a painting that can't possibly be real?
Like, I think most of the paintings aren't real, but they're actually real.
Okay.
It's
They're
hard
sort of
to
real,
know.
but not real.
It's hard to know if they're
Yeah.
real or not.
Okay, it's hard to know if it's real, so you don't even know if it's real, if it's not real.
Yeah.
I mean, what about this sort of connection between what's real and not real, and what's in your head and what's not in your head?
Imagination, like this picture what I made.
Okay, you made a picture here.
Yeah.
Okay, is this from something real or is this from something in your head?
Something inside my head.
Okay, what is it?
It's a blue cat.
Okay, so but this is a cat from in your head. But did you come up with the idea of cats?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your name?
Marley.
Marley?
Yeah.
Well, so Marley's thought of a cat and he's painted the cat, so it's come from inside his head. Is that real or not real? What do people think? You think it's not real?
Cause in this room I can't see a picture even of a blue cat.
Is there any pictures of cats around?
Nah.
Okay. Seems there's more dog pictures around in this gallery rather than cat pictures. All right, so where are we going to go with this conversation? Should we get a new actually, maybe we should. What do people think about this painting? Is this real? Is this a real?
I think it might be real.
Yeah. Is it a real thing or is it from someone's head?
Cause I think it's something from ancient times.
Right.
Okay. No, it's about to fall. It's about to fall.
Okay, what do other people think? Is this real or is this from someone's head?
That's from an imagination story, like it's from like Shrek or something.
It's sort of from a story, you're saying. Okay.
Like a movie or something.
All right, what do other people think? Is this real or is it in someone's head?
I think it's both. Like part of it's real, but part of it's not real. Like it's sort of both together.
You're disagreeing? Is this real or from someone's head?
Is that real?
No.
You say no. Why?
Why do you think it's not real? Is it because it's from a story?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we've got a point over here. Is that real or from someone's head?
Real
Real? Why? Why do you say that?
because it looks realistic.
Because it looks realistic. Is realistic the same as real? Have you got a point to make? Come and sit down. Come and get involved in this. Is this real or it's from someone's head? Is it a bit of both, as some people say?
You see, with his painting, sorry for
Yeah.
your name.
Yeah.
It could have been painted realistically, a cat, but like blue.
Yeah.
Like, so it could look realistic. You don't know if it's.
So a blue cat could look realistic.
Yeah.
But is there such a thing as a blue cat in
If
real
you-
life?
Sort of.
Because I think that's you could have a blue cat, couldn't you? But
You could dye it.
you could dye the cat blue. But you've come up with a
Yeah, but if you make it silver, sometimes it can brighten the sun and maybe it can make it a little bit blue.
Okay, so it can look blue. Okay, so
Well, usually if you see like all sorts of cats,
Yeah.
if you see all sorts of cats, and if you just dye it blue, it just really doesn't look. It just doesn't look exist.
So
It just
it's not
doesn't
real then, the blue cat.
But if you dye it, it's fake. It's just fake.
Okay,
if
so
you dye it, it's fake.
You could have a blue cat, but it would be a fake cat in a way.
If you dye it.
Okay, right now we're talking about what is real and what is coming from the head. What's coming? Marley's painted a picture of a blue cat, but you don't get blue cats. But you could have a blue cat, and you could have a realistic blue cat. Would that make it a real cat? Would that make it coming from Marley's imagination into the real world? That's what we're talking about right now. Is there such a thing as a blue cat? And also, is this from the real world, or is this from somebody's head? That's what we're talking about as well.
That's definitely. Actually, this is tricky. Dark clouds and normal clouds, and with the point of view, I've got to say that's probably from maybe someone's head.
Okay, so you think it's a mixture of different weathers
Yeah,
that you
a
can't
mixture of
maybe
different
have in
weathers.
the real world. Okay.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like it all happened in real life.
Okay.
Unless God.
And the same as the blue cat in a way.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got these things that come out of people's imagination.
Excuse me, I think you need to come as well. Your mum's behind us.
Okay, give us a final thought before you go.
I don't know.
Okay, are you off as well? Give us a final thought.
Yep, I think it's very fun to kind of think about what's kind of in the environment, what's real, what's not real. If it's someone's from head, but it's not.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Okay, I mean, we don't normally think of these things. Come and sit down, come and get involved. Are you off as well, Marley?
I just think all of the pictures look very good, and people just like made them, and maybe they copied them from a photograph.
Maybe they copied it from a photograph.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a photograph?
Yeah, maybe it is.
I mean, can you tell when something's a painting or a photograph, and how do you tell?
I don't know.
Maybe it's a photograph of a painting. Okay, we've got some sort of a kind of recycling of names and people, so maybe just get some names again. I know you're Ella, and Finn? Phoenix, and what's your name? Owen, and what's your name?
Bob.
And what's your name? I.
See, your name is Cole.
Cool.
And what's your name?
Josh.
And
Billy.
And
Alex.
what is it? Alex.
Alex.
Alice. Okay, come and get involved in this as well if you want to. Yeah.
His name's Mason and his name's Scott.
Well, people can be whatever they want to be on here. They don't have to be what they are normally. That's the whole point. It's part of the imagination. So where do we want to go with this conversation? Do we want to talk about what's real or not real? What you could make? This is like what is real tomato ketchup and what is not real tomato ketchup.
This doesn't look real.
That doesn't look real.
That looks like Hogwarts. And there's never a rainbow in Hogwarts. It's just death.
There's never a rainbow in Hogwarts.
Yeah, it's just death.
Give us a final thought before you go.
I don't know.
Okay. You said a lot on this. You must have something final to say to throw into this conversation. Where are we going to take this conversation? What should we be talking about?
They're embarrassed, apparently.
No, I'm not.
What should we talk about?
We should talk about Lego, but red Lego.
Red Lego. Why red Lego?
Because that was the first red. That was the first type of Lego.
When Lego was first invented, it was only red. Is that true?
My name's Bob. Yeah, I like monkeys. From Google.
Yeah.
And my phone.
Okay, so you're right about that. So there was a time when there was only red Lego.
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting thing to throw in, but it kind of takes us all the way back to the starting point of this conversation when we were talking about Lego. Where do we want to take this conversation? What do we want to talk about? Do you want to talk about Lego?
To say something.
Yeah, what do you want to say?
Your favourite colour is orange.
Orange.
Okay, that's good. Okay, where do we want to go with this conversation? What do we want to talk about? Do you want to talk about what's real, what's not real? Do you want to talk about things that are in your head to begin with that then become real? Do you want to talk about stories like Harry Potter?
Yeah, Harry Potter stories. Harry Potter stories.
What's that?
Paw Patrol.
About what?
Paw Patrol.
Hang on a second. Too many people talking at once. So we've got Harry Potter on this side, and what is this?
Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's like dogs, and they're rescue dogs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Paw Patrol?
Yeah. Little dogs.
Yeah.
Like.
Okay, so let's have a show of hands. Who wants to talk about Paw Patrol? Raise your hand. Who wants to talk about Harry Potter? Okay, so we're just stuck on Harry Potter then for now. Come and get involved in this. Is Harry Potter real? Is it a real thing?
Yes, real.
Completely real?
Yes. I've been to Harry Potter World. They use green screens and stuff like that.
What's a green screen?
So they've just like got. So some of the background's not real. It's just a green wall and then computers. They use computers to make it.
So are you saying it's not real?
Like just the background for instance, when one of them in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, like when Harry Potter goes. Like when he's hanging on the building, like in the background of that's green screen.
So he's just really hanging in a green room? He's not hanging off the building. Okay. Is that real or is it not real? We're talking about Harry Potter. Harry Potter's hanging off of a building. but he's really hanging off of a bar in a green room. Does that mean it's real or it's not real?
Not real. It's completely not real.
Completely not real. Okay, what do you say? You don't know? What's that?
It's in between.
In between. In between. Somewhere in between. It's interesting because it's the same with this. It's like people have said this is kind of in between real and not real. Yeah. Okay.
Like, there's loads of Harry Potter Lego games.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got about 5.
Oh, really?
And
Did you get them on eBay?
No,
Okay.
games
Just checking. Okay, so we're talking about this. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. This is Talkaoke. At the moment, we're talking about. Give us a final thought before you go. Yeah.
And there's loads of movies.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, let's talk about maybe we can talk about movies. That might be a good way. Come and have a seat on the table. Let's quickly get another round of names. I'm just going to fold that back. What's your name?
Bob.
Bob, and what's your name?
Paul.
Paul, and
Lena.
Lena, yeah.
Alex.
Alice, yeah.
Susan.
Susan, and Julie.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
This one's called Jelly.
I mean, you can be whatever you want to be on Talkaoke. It's up to you. You can be whoever you want. That's a great thing because this is part of the imagination, and that's what we're talking about now. But in what I like, my name's Mikey. Sorry, I didn't tell you. You're Mikey too. You've changed from Bob.
Yeah, I'm Mikey.
Oh, okay. Right. At the moment, we're talking about this in-between world between
we're talking about this.
imagination and reality, and that Harry Potter might be somewhere in between.
I'm a really good imaginary story.
Yeah, are you good?
Made up.
Okay, can you tell us one now?
Well, so there's a man and a dog.
Yeah.
So they're battling these
Is this
5.
a joke?
No.
No, okay, yeah.
So there's a man and a dog, and the dog's like
Yeah.
an army dog,
Yeah.
and they're battling a whole army crew.
Yeah.
So and then they die, and then their other crew come,
Yeah.
and then it's a big battle with the whole army and then the other army.
Right, okay. So that's purely from the imagination. We're talking about stories. Yeah.
Okay. There's.
Maybe we can we can go around and each of us will tell a bit of story. Okay, you can start it off and then we'll get someone else to finish it.
There was this dog. It
Yeah.
was Lad's bestest friend.
Yeah.
But one day, the guy cheated on the dog.
The guy did what?
So the dog went up to the roof and jumped, and then he caught himself.
So you've got a dog that jumped off of a roof. Did the dog survive?
No.
Okay, so we've got a dog that's jumped off of a roof. Where are we going to go with this story? Anything on this side, Lena? No? Okay. Yeah.
The dog had angel wings and flew away.
The dog had angel wings and flew away. Okay. Are we going to go on with this story? What do people think? Can you add to this story?
He crash landed on the Eiffel Tower.
Okay, he crashed. Did the dog survive? I mean, he's already an angel, so probably he can't. I don't know if the dog can a dog die twice?
He died.
Okay, so we've got a dog. It jumped off of a building and then it crashed into the Eiffel Tower.
And then
Yeah.
at the poo. And then
Yeah.
went up to the top of this art gallery.
Yeah.
And then another poo. And then ate an ice cream. And then another poo.
Okay, so
And then that's
what I feel is the dog has got some kind of gastric issue going on. That could be a backstory to this whole thing. But I mean, I don't know. I feel the story hasn't really got that. Well, we're still on this story with the dog. You think it's a bad story?
Okay, I'll tell you.
Why is the story bad?
Because I said it jumped off a roof and died.
I mean, what makes a good story then? That might be a good question.
I got a good one.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, there was a man that was a superhero, and he didn't know he was a superhero, and he got beaten up at the subway.
Yeah.
And then the next day he saw the guys, and then he wanted to give them the bad guys
warned the good guy to give him money, and then he didn't. And then when he punched him, he missed him, and then he knocked him out.
Okay.
The end.
All right. I mean, okay. So that's another story. What? I don't know. I feel we're missing something with these stories. I feel that this is. I don't know. Maybe we need more.
A princess.
What are we? A princess.
We're missing the good part of the story.
Okay.
We're missing the end part.
Yeah.
We're missing the beginning part.
Okay. So we need a beginning, a middle, and an end to the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lovely princess.
Can you help us with the story? At the moment, we're trying to make our own story here because I guess we're talking about the imagination. We've got a dog with gastric problems. We've got a princess. Anything else? Maybe we should do it this way, and a superhero.
Wait.
You've got a lot from you. Let's try and get some elements from some of the other people. Any other characters that we could? Are you off? Give us a final thought.
Then the superhero
Yeah.
met a princess,
Yeah.
and then he killed the princess.
Oh, nice.
Why kill the princess? That's not the. Anyway, yeah.
The end.
Okay, so I guess I don't know, I feel we haven't really got a compelling story. I don't know. Yeah?
Once upon a time, there was a big fat man.
Yeah?
He was going to a place that made him even fatter. Then a dog just came out and ripped his face up in pieces.
I don't know, I feel like these stories, they just seem to be just random incidents of violence and not actually a real. I mean, I can't remember his name now. He said that the story maybe needs more of a beginning, a middle, and an end. And I don't know if we've got that yet. And also, I feel like we need a bit more. We've got these characters. We've got the dog. We've got the superhero. Yeah.
Once upon a time, there was a little village.
Okay, you've got a village. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. We need a bit of help here. So I guess this is about. Earlier on, we were talking about. Maybe we should just flick through actually, because I feel like the story thing. Maybe it hasn't really got legs. I don't know. Maybe we should just get around our names actually before we do anything else. My name's Mikey. What's your name?
Felix.
What's it?
Felix.
Felix.
Andrea.
Yeah.
Sophia. Alex. Lena. I'm Felix's brother.
Yeah. Have you got a name, or do you just want to be known as Felix's brother?
I have a name.
Yeah. What is it?
Max.
Okay. And
Giacomo.
Giacomo, welcome. And come and sit down, come and get involved in this. So I'll just flick through because we were talking about stories, but I feel it was, I don't know what you think, Rick, I feel it was a bit of a dead end. But maybe we can just flick through some of the pictures, because we've got Rick here. Quite often we go in these conversations and Rick's visualising, and I forget to mention Rick. So Rick's been trying to visualise the conversation as we've gone on. So Rick, can we start at the beginning, because it's much easier to go forwards than backwards, if you see what I mean. So maybe can we start with the Lego cat?
What Lego?
Or we can start at the very beginning if you want. Okay, so we're talking about animals and Lego, and then Rick showed us this picture of a Lego cat. And the question really was, is there something about a cat or something element of catness in this Lego cat? And what is that? And is there an element of people in the pictures of people? So that was the one subject. I'm just going through the subjects at the moment. This is about drowning in Lego, being addicted to Lego, as we felt a lot of the people around the table were. This is about real versus not real. Like this picture, we asked people, is this picture real or is it not real? Sorry. And you know what the consensus was, that means the agreement, was that it's kind of a bit in between real and not real, somewhere in the middle. So that's what another thing we're talking about. It's a bit like this is about being addicted to art. Can be dangerous. Rick's a recovering art addict. Luckily, he's working with us now, so he doesn't get too much art. And you've missed out seeing Addicted as well, by the way. Yeah. And this is like Harry Potter. Is Harry Potter real, or is it just all green screens and it's just added in later on, or is it like this somewhere in between, real and not real? And that's where we are right now. Come and have a seat. Come and get involved in this. What's your name?
Alex.
Alex. Okay, come and sit down. So what is there anything there that I've talked about?
Harry Potter's fake.
It's fake. Is it real at all?
No.
No? You say no?
I mean, yeah, some of it is real, like the guy that acts Harry Potter is real, but
He's a real person.
but the stuff he does is not real.
Okay, the stuff he does is not real. Okay.
Harry Potter isn't real, but the character who acts as him is.
Okay, do you know who that is?
No.
Does anyone know? No? Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe. Okay, so Daniel Radcliffe is real, but Harry Potter is not real. Do you agree with that? What about this picture? Is this real or not real? What's
In between.
in between? Okay, that's what people were saying earlier on. I mean, is that where stories kind of lie, somewhere between real and not real? Is that how you make a story? Because earlier on we were trying to make a story, but I felt that it was too much like about battles and not enough of a story. I don't know. Were you going to say something, Lena? Real or not real?
In the middle. In the middle.
In the middle. Okay. So I mean, is that true with the Lego cat? Is that cat real or not real? Can we just flip back to the Lego cat, Rick? Is that real or not real?
It's in between.
It's in between as well. Okay. Yeah.
I think it's been copied, like it's been like a cat. It's just sat there and then they've tried to copy it.
So it's based on a real cat.
Yeah.
Okay. What do other people think?
I'd
Giacomo?
say it's in between because
Yeah.
the Lego is real stuff, but the
Yeah.
cat isn't an actual cat.
Right. Okay. So it's real Lego, but not real cat.
Maybe it happened, but no one knows.
Okay.
No one knows it happened.
We don't know. Okay. Interesting.
Just have
Yeah.
Lego experts might just have thought of just put pieces together. It doesn't matter of the color.
Yeah.
Then they search for the same pieces,
Yeah.
but with a different color. So then it would come out like that.
Okay. I mean, this is a question we had earlier on. Is about if you wanted to make a cat, but you didn't have whatever color, tan and orange bricks, would it still be a cat if it was in red and blue bricks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it would still be, but no cat in the world would be that color. So it would be an unique cat.
Okay.
It could be red and blue.
Yeah.
I think it could be red and blue because someone could just spray paint their cat.
Okay, so you could have a red or a blue cat.
Yeah, because you could just get like spray paint and you could just spray it.
Okay. So, I mean, interestingly enough, we had somebody that brought a picture of a blue cat to the table, but they said the same thing. There's no cat in the world that's actually blue. But does that mean there will never be a cat that's ever blue?
No, because eventually they might invent one.
Okay, so how do you invent a blue cat?
Cross a cat with something blue.
Okay, so you could cross a cat. What blue things are there out there? Okay, we're talking about how do you invent a blue cat. Any ideas from the diet? You would dye a cat.
People do dye their rabbits and things.
Yeah.
Would you dye your cat?
Would you dye your cat? I'm gonna ask you.
I wouldn't dye my cats, no.
Have you got a cat?
I've got 2 cats. I wouldn't dye
What
them.
colour are they?
One's white and black and one is ginger, white and brown.
Okay, a bit like this one.
Yeah.
But not Lego.
Yeah.
Okay, so so there's a question about, is it right, even if you think of a blue cat, is it right to dye a cat blue or to cross it with another blue animal? Is that right? That's a point from Trisha over there. You say no.
No.
No? You say no? So you can sometimes think of things that you can do maybe in a story but are not right in real life. Okay. Where are we going to go with this conversation? I don't know. I feel like we're kind of going a little bit round in circles, possibly getting a bit too philosophical as well. We've done the blue cat thing. Maybe we should talk about a different subject. What should we talk about?
Making stories.
Let's talk about what?
Stories.
Stories. What do you want to say about stories? Can you think of a really, really good story? Have you heard a story that's really good?
Well, I'm reading.
Yeah.
The 65 Story Tree House.
65
Story Tree House.
Okay.
And it's quite good. It's about two boys who live in a tree house.
Right.
And it's like they're inside the book.
Right. So it's like a story about
like they
a story.
say, I can't wait for the next chapter. It's only on the next page.
Okay, so that's a story within a story. Does that make a better story? Which, in a way, I mean, this is something I didn't feel we really got to earlier on. We were trying to make up some stories, but they weren't really coming out well. So maybe we need to think about stories that are... Can you think of a good story that you've read or seen on a film?
I've seen on Roald Dahl.
Yeah.
I've read it, the Fantastic Mr. Fox.
The Fantastic Mr. Fox? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a good... Okay, let's go around and get some good stories.
The Journey to the River Sea.
Journey to the River...
Sea.
The River Sea?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you think of a good story? Are you off?
We need to go.
Okay, give us a final thought before you go. What makes a good story? That's a question. I mean, you've already kind of said that it might be a story within a story. What makes a good...
To make it exciting and not boring, so then the reader won't get really tired reading it.
Okay, so you've got to keep it exciting. Okay. Give us what makes a good story?
What do you call it? I'm trying to think of the word. Descriptive story.
Description. And what is description?
Like similes, metaphors, stuff like that.
But what are you doing with that? What are you doing with this description?
Making it come to life with the description.
Okay, so bringing something to life. Okay. All right, so we've got, yeah?
Like, making good story, you can bring little parts of other stories to the story that you're saying.
Okay, so it's a bit like this thing with the 65 story. What makes a good story? That's what we're talking about at the moment. Is it... We've got a few things. Bringing the action to life. We've got this question about stories within a stories, referring to other stories, action, excitement.
You can write... you have to write describing words like... Don't just say I had a dog. Like I once had a brown, hungry dog.
So be a bit more detail in a way. Okay. Yep. Alex.
A story that can appeal to all ages.
That could appeal to
all ages.
Okay. What sort of things appeal to all ages? Any idea about what's a good story?
No.
Okay. What makes a good story?
I don't know, but you see my bag?
Yeah, was it a Star Wars bag?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got your Star Wars bag. It's that we've got it over there. So don't worry, the bag is safe.
And the Lego?
The Lego? I don't know about the Lego. Was it in the bag? Okay, so we're talking about stories, what makes a good story. Lena, have you got any thoughts about what makes a good story? No? Have you read a good story? What's your favourite story?
The BFG.
The BFG? Why do you like that?
Because the BFG had to leave Sophia. And he managed to stop crying, that's why.
Okay, so it's about this, I guess it's quite magical in a way.
Yeah.
So a little bit of magic. We're talking about stories and what makes a good story.
I know, but
And Lena mentioned the BFG.
Lego cat now.
No, it's not a Lego cat now. This is the blue cat. That is a kind of Frankenstein cat, I guess, and it's it's an evil creation, I think, is what you're trying to say, isn't it? Isn't it, Rick?
You were just saying a scientist.
Yeah, like an evil scientist has created the blue cat. Is it right? Probably not. But maybe that makes a good story. That sense of somebody doing something wrong and somebody else trying to make it right.
Bad Spider-Man story.
Spider-Man.
No, bad Spider-Man.
A bad Spider-Man.
Bad
Bat Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Not bat Spider. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Okay, Bat Spider-Man. Would that make a good story, Alex?
Well, a story that can show the reader how the characters are feeling.
Right. Okay. So about feeling. That's an interesting thing. That characters have got some feeling. Oh, you're off again. You didn't even say hello. Hello. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Leave this alone. It's sort of distracting. Right. So we've got these elements to the story. We've got a kind of a magicalness from you. We've got this question of the story within a story from you. Stories that refer to other stories. We've got the having some feeling for the characters. We've got people doing bad stuff. You're not allowed in there because that means I can't spin around. Okay, so we're starting to get some sense of what makes a good story.
Bad guys?
Bad people, yes.
And soft people.
Are you one of those bad people? Can I have my thingy back, please?
Why? Well, you need it.
I do need it because it makes this orange. Right. Okay, so we're talking about
an explosion.
Okay, so explosions. Well, we mentioned that before. The question of action. We're talking about what makes a good story. Yeah.
Like putting places that don't exist, but in the movie it does.
What doesn't exist?
Like magic things that can disappear and go on books that.
So it's kind of a bit like what you were saying then about the magic things. That magic things work well in stories. Things that don't happen in real life, I suppose, like the blue cat. So the element of magic is important in a story. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. We're trying to find out what makes a good story. There's no age limit here. We've got mostly young people, but I'm sure the older people could also give us some element. What makes a good story, would you say? Yeah.
We have to go now.
Okay, give us a final thought.
Well, it could be a story that people from all places could understand.
Okay. Have you got a particular story in mind that everyone gets and understands?
Well, if it's in a different place, you could all understand it because it's not set in a particular place where only the people who live there could understand it.
So what kind of place have you got in mind?
The moon.
Don't know. Okay, well maybe something to think about. Okay, looks like it's just you and me, Lena. Well, unless we can get some more people to come and sit down around the table. Come and have a seat. Help us out. I can do a coffee later on, but there's no coffees allowed in the gallery, sadly. So where do you want to take this conversation then? What would you like to talk about? You don't know? Have you been to the Lego thing? Have you seen? Where's my? Oh. I know I lost my pictures. I think somebody has taken the picture. The painting. This painting.
What painting?
The painting that we're talking about.
He changed it.
We're making paintings here, but we're talking about a particular painting, which is Constable's View. It's this painting here, down there on the poster.
Okay. But that's talking all about books. How are better books?
We're talking about stories.
We're talking about. Okay, Sammy.
Thank you. So we're talking about stories and what makes a good story. You like BFG. What's your favourite story?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. And your favourite story?
That's everything.
You like everything. I mean, you mentioned Spider-Man and Batman.
And animals or superheroes.
So anything really, any sort of animals, superheroes, something like that.
But not boring books like how the story starts. Like it is so boring.
You can have a boring story as well. Okay. So at the moment we're trying to work out what makes a good story. And we found out that Lena likes BFG. You like Star Wars? What story do you like? Have you got a favourite story? No? Okay. Have you got a favourite story?
Yeah, a few actually. Which one is the favourite? I don't know. It's lots of them. What I like about stories is if there is an interesting character.
Okay, so it's a character. We had that before. Thank you. I'll try and hang on to this time. So we're talking about what makes a good story. You're a little bit far away. Come closer, because then I feel like it makes it look like I'm dangerous, and I'm not dangerous. So what's your name?
Esperanza.
Esperanza. What makes a good story as far as you're concerned? Have you got a particular story that's good?
With the strange ending.
With a what ending?
A strange ending.
A strange ending. So unexpectedness as well is important in a story. Yeah.
Fighting.
So, I mean, it's fun. We've had a lot, I mean, I think it's true. I think it's true that there has to be a lot of, or at least some kind of disagreement in a story. Be it a fight or some kind of argument or something like that. It can't all be nice. What's that?
A challenge.
I mean,
they might give challenges to see who wins and gets the thing. Or who wins.
Yeah, okay, so there's this challenge, there's a fight. Is the fight an important part of a story, would you say? No. Is it? Do you have to have a fight in the story?
No.
You say no. What do you say?
Fight sometimes with yourself, with your weakness.
Okay,
yeah.
So it can be a fight with yourself as well. Okay.
Hi, Louis.
Okay. Okay. Have you thought of a favourite story? Maybe a photographer can help us. So have you got a favourite story?
A favourite story about Cinderella.
Cinderella. Why do you like Cinderella?
Well, it's related when I was a kid and I was dreaming to be a prince, and I'm not a princess, you can see. But I used to dream about it.
Okay, so anyway, it's a sort of kind of romance as well.
I just dream nothing fun or nothing, just spooky stuff. And today I thinking in the library, close to the library, we're 10 zombies and have a guy come out in the dinner hall. I have blood-in fingers.
Okay.
And it's so creepy. I just hugged my dad.
Okay, was this a dream?
Yes.
Okay. So anyway.
It's never like fairies or like that. It's just spooky like that.
Okay. So what you're saying, I suppose, is that in the dream, that there's like all kinds of bad things happening. And maybe stories could be like that, I suppose, is the implication. But in this side, I guess we're saying that stories don't have to have a fight in them. It could be a fight with yourself, I suppose. Do you agree with that, Lena?
Yes.
Have you ever had a fight with yourself?
Yes.
What was the fight about?
Can't remember.
I can't remember, okay.
Yeah, like sometimes when you want to eat something and you are not allowed to eat that, but you really want to eat that, and you need to fight with yourself.
Would that make a good story, do you think?
Sometimes if it's there's maybe a bit of magic and then maybe a journey added to it, could be a good start.
Okay, so I mean, we've got quite a lot of things here from the various people. The only thing is now, when we're ready to piece it together, we've run out of people. But I can just go through some of the elements of the story that we've talked about. It's going to have a magical element, maybe refer to other stories, characters that we've got feelings for, this question of a fight, but it doesn't have to be a fight. I feel like most of the boys, some of the girls, wanted there to be a big fight, some kind of challenge, but it could be, as you pointed out, it could be a fight with yourself about cake or something like that. And a strange ending, somebody else said. So there's all these things that make up what is a good story. Come and take a seat on the table of chat. This is Talkaoke, it's a free-form talk show. You're very welcome. We've got Lena, and what's your name again?
Magdalena.
Lena and Magdalena, come and have a seat. What's your name?
Sarah.
Sarah, and I'm Mikey. Come and sit down, come and get involved in this. At the moment, well, I mean, we could sort of start off on a new subject, but we were talking about stories and what makes a good story. Your brother, yeah?
Yeah, he makes loads of stories.
Yeah? What about you? Do you make stories? Or do you make pictures or something like that?
I draw a lot.
You draw? What kind of things do you draw?
It varies a lot.
Yeah? What do you think of this as a painting?
It's cool. Quite a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah. Have you seen this before?
I think so.
It's the painting that's down the end there, where they're making a Lego thing out of, a Lego version of it. But I guess we started off talking about the imagination and the powers of the imagination. And I guess that's what led to this idea about what makes a good story. But I mean, the whole point of this talk, it's up to you to decide what you want to talk about. So we could talk about that. We could talk about the imagination. It seems like you're interested in drawing. We could talk about what makes a good drawing or a good picture. Hello. So we've got Sarah, we've got Lena and Magdalena, and I'm Mikey. What's your name?
I'm Kuba, and Sarah is my sister over here.
Okay. Have you got any views about what makes a good story or makes a good picture?
It's the characters sometimes.
Yeah.
And the background.
What makes an interesting character?
Well, some characters makes no sense, but some do.
Okay, so you can have a character that doesn't make sense.
And some which can make sense.
Can you think of a good character from a story that you?
Actually, I can. I thought of a lot of characters. A character which can see demons.
Yeah.
Which is really rare.
Is this your own idea, or is this something that you've got from a story that you've read or seen in a film?
No, I actually usually watch cartoons and just think of the characters.
Okay, so it's a little bit influenced by cartoons, but characters are important. A character that can see demons.
There's some characters which I like in books.
Sorry?
From the Never-Ending Story books as well. I like that characters too.
Okay, so we know that characters are important. So we've come up with a character. What's your name again?
Kuba. Kuba.
Kuba, okay. So Kuba's come up with this point about character that can see demons. Can anyone else think of a good character that would be good for a story? Can you think of one?
Someone that has magical powers.
Okay, what kind of magic? Because Kuba's character's got magical powers. What magical powers? What magical powers could you add to the ability to see demons? And what about Cinderella? What magical powers does Cinderella have?
The shoe.
The shoe? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, she woke up. She was coming back at home at midnight. She transformed her.
Okay, so she had the magical power to return home. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. We're talking about what makes a good picture, a good story. Is it characters?
And the character doesn't just see demons. He actually became a demon, but he's a good guy which can fight demons or send them to heaven or hell because some of the demons been cursed.
Okay, well that's the one character. We've got that character, but I think you need more than one character for a story.
I know.
But I want to get some from this side. Have you got any ideas?
Maybe teleportation?
Teleportation. Is that a character though?
Your teleportation could be for a power and.
Okay, a power of someone that's got the power of teleportation. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. We're talking about at the moment. We're talking about what makes a good story, or what makes a good character. Because characters are considered to be good in a story, but what makes a good character? Kuba's come up with a character about somebody who can see demons.
And because of an accident, he got hit by a car, but turns out that charm saved his life and turned into something else, into a skeleton, which can cause unsensible things.
Okay, so it's got a kind of history. It's got a kind of history as well. Come and have a seat. Come and get involved in this. So we've got this, and we're starting to develop a character here that can teleport. But have we got? I don't know. Is that enough of what we want in terms of what makes a good character for a story? So we've got Magdalena, we've got Lena, we've got Sarah, we've got Kuba. What's her name? Katarzyna and
Helen.
And Helen. At the moment, at the moment we're talking about characters, because earlier on we were talking about what makes a good story, and we're focusing on characters. What makes a good character? Can you think of a good character?
I like someone who is like out of the norm, who's someone different, who's exciting to read about. That's what I like in a good character. I like them to have a good outfit. Looking at some of these paintings, I think they've got some good outfits in them. That's important to me. I like a goodie rather than a baddie most of the time, but that might not go with your idea so well.
Well, do you need to have a good and a bad character?
Yeah, I think probably,
If it's only just good characters, it's not actually a fun show.
Okay, so do you need to have good and bad characters?
Yeah, because it's like without bad, there's no good.
Okay, what do people think on this side? Do you need to have a good and a bad character?
Yeah, mostly it makes more interesting story. I mean, it doesn't have to be really bad, but like opposite personality even.
Oh, so not necessarily bad, but two opposite personalities that are not necessarily good or bad. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like I don't know. I think like what was the name of this princess? The one who lived with 7 dwarfs.
Oh, Snow White.
Snow White, yes.
Yeah.
So actually, I don't think that the queen was a bad woman. She was just jealous, and like she was completely opposite to the Snow White.
So in a way, you've got Snow White and you've got the queen. They're not necessarily good and bad. Do people agree with this? Is the queen not that bad?
It depends on how you look at it.
Yeah. What do you think about this queen? Do you think she was a bad person?
Well, it was a bit weird that she wanted to take Snow White's heart, but...
That sounds pretty bad to me. I don't know. I don't know. Is it possible to have a story without a good and a bad character? Where you can just have people that just don't get on for whatever reason, be it jealousy?
There is actually a way. There's some cartoons which do have that, and characters as well.
Yeah, okay.
And some characters they don't have to have all bad.
Yeah, so they don't have to be all bad. I mean, I think that's what you're saying about the Queen. Was she all bad, or did she just have some bad personality in there?
There could be also a twist in the story to make like the bad guys win.
Okay, the bad guys could win. What do people think about that? Well, can you have a story where the bad people win? Or the wrong person wins in the story?
It's not that common to happen, but it would be interesting to see.
You think it would be interesting?
Stories, I think. I don't know any children's stories.
Why do the bad people not win in?
She has a really sad imagination.
We'll let Katarzyna speak for herself.
I think it's just because. I don't know. Maybe because they want to show that the world is safe. Place and everything finishes well. Not for the there's a lot of adult stories which don't finish very well.
Okay, so adult stories are more likely to have an unhappy ending.
Yeah.
I mean, is that right to give kids this sense that there's a happy ending?
I heard that the Grimm's stories were not that happy ending, but then they were changed later on. So.
Okay, so what's this Grimm?
The Brothers Grimm's
so the fairy tales.
Yes.
Okay.
They were quite scary, and I think they kind of been a bit smoothed on the edges.
Over.
Yes.
Okay. Has somebody made all of our fairy stories smoother, nicer, when they should have horrible endings? Why are you pointing?
No, maybe not horrible endings. I think it would be more complex.
More complex.
And also would show kids. It's sometimes I think it's a bit of a happy story. Doesn't give you that much of reality, really.
Okay, so what you're saying?
What I do when I think of a character, it's like my brain is a book which is drawing characters on each page.
Right, okay. I mean, what about this question about an unhappy ending? Should children's stories have unhappy endings to prepare them for the horrible part of the world where not everything ends up nice?
Yeah, all like butterflies and pretty birds, but all would be dead.
What do people think on this side? Should stories have happy endings for kids?
Sometimes, because the girl with
I think there's a story, I don't know the name in English, the girl with the matches. She actually dies on the end.
Right.
She tries to sell the matches to get some money, and she actually freezes to death over there. And that's the story. That's what she's thinking about.
Pretty sad. So not all children's stories have got happy endings. I mean,
most of them do, though. But I think a part of that is that time of when you read stories. So if you're having a bedtime story, you might not want to think about all the bad things in the world just before you go to sleep.
Okay,
And so
is that better to think about in the morning? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's less scary maybe in the morning. I don't know.
Okay, so these.
With a bedtime story, we'll tell about kids about the bad people as well, the characters, like happy ones, but there's a secret to them.
There's a what? A sequel?
Secret.
A secret?
Yes.
What's
Some
the secret?
characters could be actually good, but pretend to be good to trap them.
Oh, okay. And well, look. Let's come back to this painting here. Can people see a story in this? Do you think? What is the story?
It's about a person which didn't have enough money, and he wants to be a king, but he can't.
Yeah.
And he tries to think out a way, but he has a pet dog.
Right.
Yes, there's a dog. There's a dog.
There's a dog in the picture. Yeah.
And he has a way, so he just once in the market and asks someone to kind of kill the king, so he can become king and protect.
Okay.
He wants the church to help him, but they don't want to because they're a church.
Okay. So there's some kind of plot for power and money. What does this suggest a story to you, Lena and Magdalena?
I think that could be a story about a man who saved King's life.
Right.
And King was taking a bath in the river, and then he started to get under the water, and he jumped in there, and he saved him because there is a rainbow over there, so like a good sign.
Okay, so it's about somebody being saved from drowning. Have you any thoughts about this picture? Does it tell a story to you, Helen?
Well, I work on the project for this painting, so I know a little bit about what the artist's story was. So that kind of comes into my head more than me being now able to make up my own story.
Well, I'm going to come back to you in a second.
That's a difficult one.
Let me just go to Katarzyna. What do you think?
That is just ordinary thing for me. That someone is watering the horses.
So you think it's a more just ordinary story?
Yeah, in the river.
Is there any story at all?
Just illustration of normal life.
So this is just about ordinary life?
Yeah.
Yes.
From now or from the past?
From the past, yes.
Okay. So this is about the ordinary life of people in the past. Okay. Let's go. I mean, you know the story. Does that? I mean, when you hear other people come up with other stories, does it make you think, oh, it could be that, or does it make you think, oh, that's wrong?
No, I like other people coming up with other stories. I think that's what pictures are there to do, to make people have an imagination about what the story could be, I think.
So you actually like people speculating about what the story could be?
Definitely, yeah.
Even if it's not the actual story?
Yeah, that's what the artist would have wanted you to do, I think, to think about what could the story be.
Okay, so they want you to think about what the story might be?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
About this, there needs to be like in some. There's a few twists which need to be in a story.
Yeah.
Sometimes stories have to. Some stories have villains and some don't. But a villain story is more interesting without a bad story.
Okay, I mean this is the thing, and we're still talking about this story thing, where we kind of moved.
My story.
Well, it's not really your story because the problem with your story is that it was, and we've kind of isolated this now, is that we didn't develop the characters, so we need to have character and a twist. There is
Bob. Spider-Man.
Yeah, but the character, we've got to have feelings for the character. That's what we discovered in this conversation whilst you were away. Anyway, let's maybe get a round of names. What's your name again?
Bob.
And
Shelley Brew.
can I just call you Chili?
Yeah.
And
Susan.
And
Spider-Man. Asher.
what's your name?
Paul.
Paul. And
Helen.
and
Katarzyna.
Katarzyna.
And
No, your name.
You can be anyone you want here on Talkaoke.
I actually prefer a character which is a penguin.
Yeah.
Called Penguin. That's
Penguin. Okay, Penguin. And
Um.
I'll come back to you. What's your name? And
Magdalena.
Magdalena. Okay. Okay. It shouldn't be. It should just be a quick kind of like flutter through those things. It shouldn't be. I feel there's too much thinking going on. But anyway, we're talking. Hang. Okay. What's your?
Richie.
Richie. Okay. So, but when we're talking about stories, and I just want to bring in what Helen said because Helen knows what is the real story behind this picture. Careful with that because I'm going to send that as a postcard to my mum later on. Give us a final thought before you go.
About the story.
About anything really, about what you're thinking.
Okay, so there was about powers that this person can take himself wherever.
Yeah.
So he comes to our times.
Right.
From there he comes to our times.
Okay, well, that's an interesting point. What if this painter came from this time, which is 1831, until now? What would they think? What would they actually think? And how would they deal with life now? Come and get involved. This is Talkaoke. Yeah?
Do you know that picture over there?
Which one?
The big
This
one.
one? Yeah.
Do you know where that is?
No, tell me where it is.
Princess Street.
Princess Street. Okay, but what about, it's the same question, what about if somebody from Princess Street then came to Princess Street now? What would they think?
They would think, I'm going to die in like 10 years.
Why would they think that?
Because they've lived so long.
Okay, yeah, but okay, they've lived. Okay, so they think they'd be scared. I'm going to put that down as. What would somebody from this time think about now, if they came to the world now? And bear in mind, this is what 1831 looks like.
So I think he'll be looking really nice.
Yeah.
With no cars or smoke. I'll just relax.
So you think it looked nicer back then?
Yeah, but I'm not too sure about the laws a bit because some of them are a bit different than this one.
Okay, so they get confused about the laws. What sort of laws would they get confused about?
Some laws of different countries have like chopping heads.
Okay, so there'll be no decapitation, I guess, now, where they used to have it maybe in 1831. What do other people think? What would somebody from 1831 think of now if they came? If they came to Princess Street, or if they came to here, would they be shocked? You're saying they would be scared of it. Okay, yeah.
So in 1831 there was no shops.
There's no jobs.
No shops.
Oh, no shops.
There is shops.
Are there shops? Were there no shops in 18?
No.
Okay, okay. We've got our expert here, Tricia.
That painting there is of Edinburgh in the 1820s. It's got shops. It's Princess Street.
Okay, so there are shops then.
There's loads of shops.
Yeah.
Hundreds.
I mean, what would somebody from 1831 think of now? That's what we're. Yeah, yeah.
They would feel different.
Yeah. Why would they feel different?
Because their world was different from ours.
What was different about it?
There was like people who were in jail. They would have their heads get chopped off.
We've heard that one already. Yeah.
And
anything else apart from the heads getting chopped?
They wouldn't be
electricity.
Yeah, no electricity.
Yeah.
So they'd be fascinated by anything electrical or surprised. What?
And
Yeah.
when they like entered a house, they would be much more surprised instead of beds made out of straw, made out of mattresses.
Right. Okay. So they'd be surprised by the mattresses instead of straw bed. What were you going to say, Helen, over here?
I was going to say the transport along Princes Street looks so different. Like there's horses and carts along there. We've got like trams and cars and buses. So I think it would be really noisy.
They think it would be very noisy.
Yeah, they might not know how to get on and off the trams or how to buy a ticket or anything like that.
What sort of noises would they have back then?
Would there be a lot of clip-clopping of horses? Yep.
Wildlife. And what was it? The 1700, 18th century?
Yeah.
17th century.
19th century.
The 19th century, so 1818 roughly.
Yeah.
So there would have been more selling in shops than you would have thought. It wouldn't have particularly been called a shop, but it would have been more a swap than anything. We've done more things to adapt to help our selling computing-wise, but we've caused a lot of pollution.
Yeah.
There's a lot of waste.
So
too many lights, different things. Candles are still here. So
I mean, what would somebody from 1831 kind of think of today? Would they think it was noisy
I would
and
think. I think it's something they would take it to a person hearing maybe for the first time. They would hear if obviously new sounds, new smells. I think they'd be surprised at how far we've actually came, but be surprised on how far we've put ourselves behind on another situations.
So definitely a kind of sense of shock.
Sorry, I'm just watching the queue as well.
What's that? You're going to go into the Lego queue. Well, give us a final thought if you're going to go. We're talking about what would somebody imagine this painter was a time traveller and they travelled to now. What would they think? What would they be shocked about? Would it be the smells, the sounds?
All the modern things, it would be definitely shocked by the planes, by everything you have in modern way.
Yeah.
And no more countryside like that also maybe.
Okay, so they'll be like, where's all the countryside gone?
I think they're going to be surprised if they see some new things like cities, electricity, VR, other things. They'll be like, oh, fascinating. And they'll be maybe kill themselves because they don't know what it is.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
They would definitely be very overwhelmed with all of the
so
stuff.
So they'd be kind of overloaded in a way.
Yeah, and there will probably be a lot more buildings.
Yeah.
Now, and less of the grass.
Okay, so there'd be like, where's all the plants and grass and stuff like that? What's that?
But by the photography, because you see, it's Constable, we can say that their paintings are like photos.
Yeah.
Actually, and they would be very surprised to see somebody able to have the same.
So devices. Thank you. Enjoy.
You're back.
You're back. So with it, yeah.
So, in that time, it wasn't so much modern.
Yeah.
But then this time, there's so much modern now.
I mean, yeah. I mean, what about if you went another 200 years in the future? What would we be shocked in the same way that this time traveller would be shocked at now? Would we be overwhelmed? Would we be oversmelled by all the smells?
Technology now, so imagine what it's going to be like in another 200 years.
Okay. Would it be over? I mean,
oversmelled.
We'd get overloaded with smells.
Yeah.
What kind of smells would you get in 200 years' time?
Like dusty smells.
Yeah.
And dirty smells.
Okay, it'd be a lot more polluted. Would it be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Aeroplanes.
There will be aeroplanes everywhere.
Yeah, but like this.
Robots.
Maybe robots, because we are just on the verge to have robots to help people.
What do robots smell like?
Nothing.
They won't smell of anything.
Change.
What do you mean change?
Like in the old. No.
Okay, take a seat on the table of chat. This is Talkaoke at the moment. We're talking about what would somebody from this time, thank you. What would somebody from this time think of today? Would they be overwhelmed by their senses? That's what we're talking about. Come and take a seat if you want. Well, 2 minutes. So let's just quickly get a round of names. So we've got Richie, we've got Are you off? Give us a final thought.
Bye, Rich. I'm Richie and I'm rich.
Okay. And what's your name?
Solange.
Solange.
Yeah.
And what's your name? Paul. We know that one. What do you want?
Paul.
Yes. Okay. So what have we got? What's your name?
My name is Massimo.
And.
My name is Marco.
And.
My name is Daniele.
Okay. And what's your name?
Susan.
Susan. Yeah. And Richie and Sora. Okay. So are you off?
I know, I got one.
Yeah.
And like the olden days, where there was electricity, and you couldn't buy electricity.
Yeah.
Like if you used it all, your grandkids couldn't like see anything when they came to your house or something. Okay.
Okay. I don't really. I don't understand what they're saying. If you don't understand, don't worry. So where are you from?
I'm from Italy.
From Italy, yeah.
Yeah?
From Italy.
Okay, and where are you from?
I'm from France, but I live here.
Okay. So at the moment we're talking about, what would somebody, this painter, if he could travel through time, what would he think of today, of now? Would he be shocked? Would it be too loud, too noisy? Would it be amazing for him, or would it be frightening?
Maybe everything.
Yeah, everything.
Maybe everything.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he must be impressed in a positive.
Yeah. I think he will be positively impressed.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
now we have a lot of.
Technology.
Technology, yes, that help us in ordinary life. I know.
Yeah. Hello, come take a seat.
Yes, it's not in use this type of painting now.
Yeah. So you think it's very, very old?
Yes.
So, but what would somebody from this time think of now?
Well.
Would they be happy, or would they be happier in this time?
I'm really be happy.
Would you be more happy in this time?
Maybe in the Renaissance.
Would it?
It was a very difficult time for most of the people, because the poor people were very, very, very unhappy, I can say.
Yeah.
Rich people were okay, but I think Constable could have a very open mind.
Yeah.
So you see, when you see the difference of his painting at the beginning and the end, for example, when we had a look on the MacTaggart and Constable put all together, I think he could be definitely surprised, but not so shocked.
So you think actually he's quite open-minded as a painter, as an artist, he's got an open mind, so he's ready for new things. That's what you're saying. Do you agree?
Yes, partially, but maybe, well, an artist is still a human being, you know, and we human beings are scared of change.
Okay.
You know? So traveling for 100 years, if that paint has 100 years, because maybe
it's more like 200 years.
Oh, right. So okay.
Yeah.
Well, probably at the beginning he would be really scared, but after time, like maybe months, he would start to understand our world and how it goes.
So it would take about a month to get used to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it was you see, when we have Michelangelo made our drawings about new planes or things like that. I think the people on that time could be very shocked and say, "Wow, what's that exactly?" So it may be the same for Constable.
I mean, earlier on we were talking about the power of the imagination, and one of the things we were saying is that before you make it, you have to imagine it.
Yeah.
And people had imagined these things, the flying vehicles, the self-powered cars, or self-powered carriages, rather than with a horse. So people had imagined it, but they maybe hadn't made it yet.
Yes.
Which brings us to the next question, which is what about 200 years' time? What do we imagine that would be like? And would we be in fear, or would we be in awe of these things? Come and have a seat. This is Talkaoke. We have got Sorange and Massimo and Marco and what is it? Daniela. And I'm Mikey. At the moment we're talking about, we're sort of talking about this painting. This is from 1831. But what would this painter, we've kind of got him there on the streets of Edinburgh, what would he think about today? What would he be shocked? Would he be overwhelmed? Would it be the smell, the pollution? Would it be the noise? Would he just be, Sorange just said is that he, actually an artist is open-minded and they might be ready to embrace all these new ideas which had already been imagined but not put into reality. So that's where we are right now. What's your name?
Serena.
Serena?
Serena.
So have you got a view on this? What do you think the painter would have thought about today?
I don't understand so much.
Okay, so this painter,
yeah?
if he was here now, what would he feel?
About this painter.
Yeah. If he was here today in 2017.
2017. It's a little bit dark.
Yeah.
I like the rainbow.
Yeah.
This light.
Yeah.
And just let me reflect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Come and have a seat. Come and get involved in this. Yeah. You're watching your friends. Come and have a seat. So I don't know if you heard my explanation. So this is Talkaoke pop-up talk show, and when we just talk about whatever, and somebody we're actually here because of this painting, and somebody was saying, well, what about if this painter came to now? What would they think? Would they think it's amazing? Would they be scared? Would they be overwhelmed? Would they be fascinated? And that's really where we are right now. So, and we've got Serena, we've got Sorange, we've got Massimo, Marco, and Daniela, and I'm Mikey. What's your name?
Anna.
Anna, welcome.
I suppose one of the constants is that we still have the beauty of nature, and that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
So they can still find that beauty.
What other people have said that he might find it hard to find that nature. Have we got less nature now?
Less and less.
Okay.
But I thought of something. In fact, he could recognize the buildings.
Yeah.
So he couldn't not be so.
Yeah. These buildings,
shocked by the buildings.
These buildings haven't probably changed in 200 years.
Yes.
Okay.
That's something quite.
Yeah.
We don't think of that when we are just walking in the streets.
Yeah. Okay. So some things will be the same, like the buildings will be the same as in more or less. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, after all, but I think that he would be impressed by the cars and airplanes and that stuff, even if they knew that probably one day those things would have happened. Seeing the stuff in the reality would have an incredible effect on the people.
Okay, so definitely impressed by that. Have you got any views on this? What would this painter, Constable, have thought coming to Edinburgh now? I mean, there is a point that the buildings would probably be the same buildings he saw last time. I don't know if he ever went to Edinburgh, but...
Nope, he didn't.
Okay, but let's imagine he did.
And, he was very, very English. He didn't travel far.
Right, okay. But what would he have been shocked? Would he have been shocked, impressed, scared about if he managed to somehow paint himself into today's world?
It's a good question. I think a lot of the buildings would be the same, although there are some that have changed enormously in the older parts of town. What would he have been? Well, he would have been really shocked because he was a deeply religious man, and I think to see how many churches are no longer used as churches would be very, very shocking to him indeed.
So the lack of use of churches would be shocking.
There are lots of churches, and they're used for art shows and festival venues, but they're pubs.
They're not necessarily
a lot of them aren't used for churches anymore.
Okay.
That would have shocked him terribly.
Okay, he would have been upset about that, maybe, would he? You think?
Yep, yeah, he would have been. Although they were also, they're not church. He was Church of England, and a lot of these aren't Church of England. So.
Give us a final thought before you go.
I think that everyone is always searching for something that he doesn't have.
Okay.
We will maybe be happier in a past time, and the people from the past time will maybe be happier now.
So we always look for something different, something new, something we don't have. Okay, so very good. Thank you, Marco. Are you off as well? Are you staying here?
Unfortunately, I think that we have orders from above.
Okay,
so
thank you for giving us time.
we have to move.
Give us a final thought, Massimo.
A final thought. Times change, but humanity is after all still the same. So everyone could live in every age, in my opinion.
Okay.
So
do people agree with what Massimo's saying, that times change but humanity doesn't change?
How old are you? Oh, I'm 15.
Wow. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Molto grazie.
Complimenti sull'inglese, molto buono.
We needed you. We needed your Italian skills that I didn't know you had. When I was struggling, anyway.
It's an international gallery of people from all over.
Yeah.
It would be definitely also shocked by the society, the state of the society, because in this time, society was more, you see, rich and so on, and poor and very poor.
Yeah.
But nowadays, the state of society, we have multitude people. How can I say? It's more democratic.
Yeah, but that would have been shocking.
It should be more
for him.
democratic.
Yeah.
So I think it should be shocked by that part of society, of the relation between people.
What do you think about this question that Massimo raised as he left? That, well, it's not a question. He made it as a statement that things change, the world changes. Hello, come and take a seat. This is Talkaoke Pop-Up Talk Show. I was halfway through a question, but I need to invite you down because this is a compelling conversation. It's about the past, the future, the present. Do we change as people? Or are we always the same? That's really the question on the table at the moment. Because we had a guy called Massimo who said that, okay, the times from then till now have changed. Everything's changed. Like what the painter would be baffled by cars and the lack of use of churches and aeroplanes, but humanity is still the same. Do we agree with this?
I think if you walk around the gallery, you have a very strong sense of family unit, which still is very strong, albeit perhaps slightly altered.
Yeah.
So again, possibly I'm looking for a common denominator, seeing the landscape remains constant, family, love, and so on.
Yeah.
Things change all the time.
What about humanity? Does that change?
It depends. Well, it does. It has changed. Even like giving birth to children, there's so many rules or things that happen and things change again. I mean, we've come a long way, but the actual spirit of how we feel, it's still the same.
Okay.
There
is something that will never.
The wedding, we still sort of proudly grandparents with child or whatever. The joy of a winter's day skating over, you know, the loch at Uddingston. So, you know, I like to think we could sit down and they could join us and have a very similar conversation.
I mean, that's the point. I mean, if we had people from all ages around the table, that we could have that conversation. Could we have a conversation? Anna's saying yes. Do people agree?
I don't think so. Because things were very different. For example, the role of the children in the family. Yeah. Normally, the children were not raised by their parents in the rich families. Right. They were raised by nurses and so on and so on. Even nowadays, if these kind of people are still not raising the children, but most of the people, for example, the farmers and so on, the children were raised, but just to work, just as a kind of, you see,
extra
tools,
tool. People didn't live as long then, so even that changed things.
So we wouldn't necessarily have older people to sit around.
There would still be, but more people and bigger families were happened. You know, people from large families, maybe 11, 13, but quite a lot died. Right. Or the siblings would help with the mother, with the other children.
Okay, so there's maybe more of a distributed sense of family as well then. It's not just that kind of nuclear...
Spy as well, whereas we're spread, we can be so spread, far away, having to travel. Right. Whereas families are, and I think we are trying to go back to being a community with having You know, if an elderly parent is ill, we try maybe get them to come and stay with us. But we are widespread now because of transport, I would say.
So we're kind of dispersed.
Yes, and the role of death also has very changed.
Yeah.
Because nowadays we just put the death outside our lives, in fact.
Yeah.
But on that time, death was just common.
Right.
So you are always thinking of you saw your children died, or so. It's totally different nowadays.
One question I have is whether, because death was more common and you must have been more afraid of it, did that mean you appreciated more? Do you think not? I wonder.
You were used of death.
I mean,
death at home.
Does this painting say anything about those subjects, do you think?
No, I don't think so. Maybe also, yeah. Because it's a very dark painting, in fact.
The building is still there, then you can compare, like there's the Edinburgh one, that's fascinating to see how that's changed. But even just some buildings that are just, we die and go, but there's buildings and it's interesting to see if...
That's Salisbury, isn't it?
That's
Salisbury Cathedral, So this is an interesting point, a point about death, that death was like much more present in the world of people in this time than it is now. Do people agree with that on this side? Come on, sit down. Interact. We're talking about what would somebody from this time think of now? But at the moment we're kind of also pondering, have we really changed as human beings? And in some senses, the people on the table have said, yes, we have changed in that our family values maybe have changed, and our understanding of death maybe has changed as well, because in this time, death was ever present because so many people died of illnesses and disease, whereas we by and large, managed to live a lot longer now. So that's what we're talking about right now. What's your name?
Sam.
Sam, and what's your name?
Carol.
Carol, and we've got Anna, we've got Saranj and Serena and Trisha. My name's Mikey. So that's where we are right now. Anyone got any views?
We were commenting on Constable being distressed about the decline in religion, and I suppose bringing it back to this painting, isn't that meant to be one of the highest spires in England or something?
Is there a religious element to this painting?
You know, there must be. There is, the high spire reaching up to God and so on, presumably. I don't know.
I mean, he worked for the bishop, and the bishop's family was very close to the bishop's family, so one could look at it just straightforward as a painting of a church commissioned, or for someone he knew would want to perhaps buy it or enabled him to stay there. But he was also a very religious man, and it was a time of great change. It was a change in church, it was a change in society, so it's just before a reformat. And we were talking about death earlier. His wife had just died. He was very, very, very attached to his wife, who had TB, tuberculosis, and she died and left young children, and he was destroyed. He never married again, destroyed by that.
I mean, going back to this question about death, because there was a suggestion that death was just more normal and in a way, because it was so present, made possibly easier to deal with. I mean, you didn't actually say that, but there's this implication. Do you think
I don't think it was ever easy. I think it's present in people's part. I mean, many of us wouldn't be here because women died in childbirth. That was one of the the average age of life, maybe 40, but for women it was often a lot less. But I think no matter if you lose a child, you lose a child. I don't think that changes.
You don't think that would change? That would be, because what we're trying to sort of, in a way, this is kind of quite interesting, that we're talking about what things change about people and what things don't. And maybe this question of death and mourning and, losing a child, as Trisha's saying, would always have the same horrible, terrible feeling, even if he had 13 to spare. Are you agreeing?
Some people maybe weren't destroyed by child dying, but as it is now. But I think many people were. I think that aspect of it's difficult to know.
Obviously, it's hard to know.
It's difficult to tell for that time.
Yeah,
definitely, because the relation inside the families were definitely different, and so I think people were tougher than now.
Yeah, they were tougher. Yeah, we didn't actually. Did we get your name?
Sam.
Sam, have you got a view on this? Come on and get involved in this as well. You're all very welcome. Have you got a view on this, Sam?
I'm just listening at the moment. It's interesting conversation and just
So I mean, come and have a seat on this table. What do people think? Was the world so different that people's values were different in this 19th century? Did they feel differently about other people? That's, I guess, what we're kind of saying.
Well, there was all things like women being witches and things. So there was all sorts of superstition and very much religion was the thing.
Yeah. So we were more influenced by religion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think in fact there's less now. People are having not other ideas, but we view the world in a different, because the world is closer than it was then. They lived in their communities, but maybe wouldn't travel far.
Right. So we had more knowledge. We've got more knowledge now.
And the role of the women were definitely different, because they were just, you see, a part of a marriage. They were just born to have children, in fact.
Right. Okay.
Most of the time.
So, I mean, are you saying that women were not valued?
Yes, I think women were not valued.
Again, it's impossible to really look back and be secure about that.
Yeah.
Well, just a guess. Just a guess.
I mean, all we can do is guess, and I guess maybe we can get some information from some of the pictures and paintings around. Maybe, I don't know if this tells us anything about how women were seen in society back then.
There's many things here from the past. This is a painting about debt, about people's homes being repossessed. That's very current. That's one of the pictures we use if we work with teenagers, for example, because people can recognise and understand the idea of your home being taken away. So wedding, a joyous wedding. Women were important in the sense that if you valued, women helped the family to go forward. So if you were of a family that had to go forward, a woman was very important. It's just the values of importance have changed or different in a way of valued in a particular area of life, maybe, and not in other areas of life. But I think there are many pictures. I think this is a beautiful picture of the granddaughter, the only granddaughter, who's massively appreciated by... There are two paintings of her with different members of the family, and they're all hugging this child who sadly died. But they all appreciate this girl. It's not like that she's not important because she's a girl. She's loved by her family.
So, I mean, once again, it's the question of love, and somebody brought it up before, that is love one of those things that will always be the same? Is it something
one of my favourite paintings is the one upstairs of, I forget what it's called, Spring, McTaggart's Spring, with the two little girls, very romanticised, but it's surely celebrating all of those things, the joy of childhood, the joy of nature, and so on.
So do you think this question, I mean, so where does that come down? Then have we got this kind of almost that black and white sort of view that maybe...
Thank you, really, thanks so much.
Give us a final thought, or
it is interesting, everything, and interesting to reflect also for all the times, the new ones. It's quite different if you see a photo now of Edinburgh and you see a painter like that. Just to feel, we feel something, I don't know how to explain, but a lot of things are changed, but I don't think in better. All
is
the
it
best.
worse, or is it kind of the same? Just you trade one thing for another? Is it kind of like
it's
on the level, or is it just getting worse and worse, in your opinion?
You cannot stop the time.
Yeah.
Anywhere. So some things you don't like, but is the future is in this way. Something goes well, something goes not well. What we can do, like people, is to try to do always the best in comparison also with other people. But we cannot stop the evolution of time. I think so.
So
that's one reflection.
Try to do the best.
Give
us a final thought.
Just a lovely opportunity to do this, a bit different, and I enjoyed very much. So
well,
thank you.
We're just here for today.
I'm going to go.
Okay, well, let's get some final thoughts. Maybe we get from an initial thought, possibly from Sam as well.
I think actually we are in the world where we are the most able to contact people everywhere in the world, everywhere close to us, and we are in the time where the people are the most alone.
Right. So we've got the most possibilities for contact,
Yes.
but with the most
Absolutely,
alone.
yes. And people are so alone, much more than they were before, because there were community and so on and so on. So
they felt more a part of it.
But it's definitely not a thought. It's definitely something that happens. You don't know your neighbors in your buildings, not anymore, for example.
Okay, so
that's
something, certainly something we've lost.
Yeah, I think the sense of community.
Okay.
Emotion and love is a big thing, and always has been with music. Mozart, when you think what things were written, and you still even can see just relationships. It's very important. So we still just saying there, being on your own, people can be lonely. So I think we try and make an effort to do things and hopefully accept people more now, but it's still hard.
So we're maybe more accepting, but then again, people are lonelier as well. So that's something.
It's still all about emotion. Everyone, even from having Asperger's, is still to be accepted in society. Whatever, if you're disabled, whatever you want to be.
So in a way, we've got that kind of vocabulary to be more accepting now. We're understanding.
Hopefully, but that's a big part of life.
Yeah. Sam, have you got a final or initial thought?
Well, I just caught the tail end of this, just interested
Well, I
in
mean,
what people
it's kind of
were
ongoing.
thinking.
Started off talking about being addicted to Lego, but that was with a slightly younger audience. So we do sort of go from subject to subject. But I mean, I guess, when you've been on the table, we've been talking about this sense of what changes and what stays the same in terms of people and their values and who they are, their humanity. I mean, I have to say I was surprised that people felt that we'd kind of gone backwards, that people wanted to emphasise more loneliness and more, and that we kind of gone downhill a little bit. I don't know what you think. Do you think that we've actually progressed? Have we become more accepting, or is it kind of almost like a trade-off that whatever we gain, we lose something somewhere else?
I think it depends what you're measuring. If you're measuring conditions of living, longevity, poverty. There's been more positive change in the last 100 years than in 5,000 or 6,000 years of history, or more probably. But certainly, that pace of change means we probably lose certain things that we might not want to lose in terms of, say, community. For instance, someone's talking about not knowing your neighbours. That's much easier now. But it's also much easier to connect with people across the other side of the world. So I think it's so
you can have a kind of virtual neighbour in Mumbai, or
your involvement will be different. You won't be perhaps provide the kind of care and neighbourly duty that you would next door, but you might have contact with or relatives or friends. So I guess it's a trade-off. But anyway, I mean, in terms of we were talking about this painting earlier on, and just kind of interested that. Just the question that comes to my mind is, how reliable is art to tell us about life when it was painted?
I mean, we kind of had that conversation a bit earlier on in the morning, actually. And the thing that people came up with was this idea that the power of the imagination, that we're always going to project something from our imagination, and that art, in a way, gives us a springboard. So it may not be reliable and accurate, but at least gives us a kind of window, and we do obviously bring our own values onto that. But I guess it's time to take a little break. You've got countries closer together. Thank you, Rick, for that visual pun. Rick's been seeking to visualise the conversation as well. Thank you, Sam. Yes. Thank you, Rick. I would go through the visuals, but it looks like there's not too many people around in the back. But maybe later when we start the final. What time is it now? Oh, so there's no final. That was the final session. Welcome to the future. If you want to see us again, you'll have to go to Brent Civic Centre on the 1st of November. Well, no, we must have gigs in between. No, we haven't. Okay, so there we go. Thanks very much. Thanks to Scottish National Gallery.